Wednesday. It's the 21st of March. I'm Monita Rajpal. This is CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Making news today. We begin the show in the Middle East, where 2 rockets from Gaza have been fired into southern Israel during President Obama's first trip to the region since taking office. No casualties were reported, but the attack came hours before Mr. Obama began talks with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank. And CNN's Sarah Seidner joining us. Sarah, we are seeing that the amount of time that the president is spending isn't that much compared to how much time he's spending in Israel.
And you can believe that Palestinians noticed that. They also noticed the difference in
At least 12 people have been killed and 32 injured in a car bombing in northwest Pakistan. The blast happened at the Julazi camp for internally displaced people, 35 kilometers outside of Peshawar. 4 people were killed and 20 more injured when violence erupted in central Myanmar. The violence was sparked by a quarrel between a Muslim gold shop owner and 2 Buddhist sellers. Muslims and Buddhists later took to the streets, torching each other's homes and schools. 4 mosques were also burned to the ground. In less than 5 hours, former oil executive Justin Welby will be enthroned as Archbishop of Canterbury.
And installed.
His new central bank chief has had his first day in office. Haruhiko Kuroda was approved for the job by Parliament last week. He's known as a supporter of pumping more money into the economy. The expectation of more easing has been weakening the yen currency, which helps Japanese exporters and boosts the markets. Well, the European Central Bank has just set down a firm deadline for Cyprus to reach a bailout agreement with the EU. If no agreement is reached by Monday, the emergency cash flow now coming from the central bank will be cut off. In a statement released just a short time ago, the central bank said the emergency liquidity assistance could only be considered if an EU program is in place that would ensure the solvency of the concerned banks. Let's go to CNN's Jim Bolden, who joins us now live from the Cypriot capital, Nicosia. And Jim, it seems so far the ECB have set the clock ticking. They have until Monday. Is that enough time?
Well, yes, it is enough time if, in fact, this Plan B, whatever Plan B, can be sorted out. This is what the government has
They're
been...
live for us from Nicosia. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. Still ahead, the Australian Prime Minister survives a leadership challenge unopposed. A relief for Julia Gillard, but as an election looms, what message does it send to voters? We'll take you live to Sydney. You are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. I'm Monita Rajpal. Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard has survived a leadership showdown with herself. Ms. Gillard called a leadership vote on Thursday afternoon to appease grumblings from within her governing Labour Party. But in the end, nobody put their hand up to run against her. Earlier, Prime Minister Gillard issued an historic and somber national apology. She publicly recognized those who were victimized by Australia's adoption policy prior to 1975. Well, let's get more now on the political situation in Australia. We're joined by Stan Grant in Sydney with our affiliate Sky News Australia. Stan, good to see you. Some people would say when it comes to the political situation that Gillard is in right now, it's what goes around comes around, but she has said that any questions about her have been settled in, I'm quoting here, the most conclusive, fashionable, or fashion possible. Is that really the case?
No, this has not been conclusive, Monita, since 2010 when Julia Gillard unseated Kevin Rudd.
Stan, thank you so much for that. It's always good to see you here, Stan. Stan Grant joining us live from Sydney. You're watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. The Miami Heat had won 23 games in a row. We are watching CNN News Center live from Hong Kong. In sport, the streak is still going, but the pressure of their record-breaking run appears to be getting to the Miami Heat. Alex Thomas is in London with more on that and the other sports stories. And Alex, there's that expression, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Does that work here?
They got such a great name for all these puns and headlines, haven't they, Monita? Yes, the Miami Heat has extended the NBA's second longest ever streak to 24 games in Hong Kong, Monita.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for that. You are watching CNN News Central live from Hong Kong. Still to come, more threats from North Korea as the source of the South Korean cyber attack is traced to China. We'll bring you the latest from Seoul.